Hey everybody. I'm super excited about today's chat, and I just want to let you know that my normal producer, who helps with all my editing, recording, and all that, Josh, is absent today. He's probably off gallivanting, and we know him and his wife Tiff very well, and we
Mhm.
love them. And he's probably listening to the edit of this, like, now she's telling my business. No, I love him. I don't know where he is. He's gallivanting.
Yeah, as he does.
As he does, and
He
he
tends
he
to do.
does well,
Very
okay?
well.
We love them, and what's nice is we have a step-in producer, Denisha, who we also love,
Very
who
much.
is here, capturing this content, and why this is all relevant to today's chat is she asked us first thing, she said, "I have not seen you since you were pregnant. How are things with the baby?" And I said, "You know what? Let me make this chat relevant for all people listening because we are now officially at the first 90 days." Now, I'm not okay, send help.
Mm.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, I shouldn't even say you're here. Alex is here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We're just talking.
Oh, hey.
Y'all friends.
Ah.
So this is the my partner procreator.
Partner procreator. That's
If you're not
that's-
watching this on YouTube, you should because facial expressions that he gives me. Partner procreator. Listen, we live in LA. People say that. What is it? Conscious uncoupling when you get divorced? Consciously uncoupling.
Listen, your phrases and sayings that you come up with. I said it this
I
morning.
didn't come up with that. That's Gwyneth Paltrow. She and Chris Martin, who named their child Apple. Apple also is probably like 35 right now too. I don't even want to talk about that and what that means to my emotional state. No one's asking you to do the math on that, but their child Apple, okay, everyone's very concerned about. They decided to consciously uncouple when they broke up.
Wow. I have.
That's what she said.
I have
It's not a
nothing to add to
divorce.
that.
It's a
I have.
This is also the lady who sold candles that smell like her vagina on Goop. So
On Goop.
I'm not kidding. Goop. She owns Goop. You didn't know she owns Goop?
Oh, I forgot you owned
That's
Goop.
Gwen.
Oh.
Yes. All he knows is I like their brownies
Oh, and their pasta.
and their pasta from Goop.
It's really good.
And their vagina scented
And
candles.
their vagina scented candles. Yeah. Yeah.
This is a bit of a tangent. Anyways,
Reminds me
Alex
of
is
home.
here.
No,
Yes, why? What is wrong with you? Oh my God, no. My house does not smell like a white lady's vagina. Are you kidding me? No, we're African. It smells like plantains and what? Freedom. Okay, all that said,
Yes.
my partner in procreation, I'm glad you're here today. My husband as well.
Thank you. There you go.
There you go. You don't even like when I call you boyfriend.
I don't. I get mad.
Oh wow. Oh wow. You said it very like firmly. It was very like period and you don't like that.
No, I don't like that.
It's
I
so
earned my
funny.
title.
There was this
I
thing-
put in my time.
Not earn my title, put in my title.
Put in my
Listen,
time.
can I tell you, there was a I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's a trend online where women will like pretend they're on a phone call or and be like, oh yeah, so yeah, then my boyfriend's gonna come, whatever. Or they'll pretend they're filming social media and they're like, oh hey, I'm here. It's an outfit of the day. I'm here with my boyfriend. And you do that while your husband is in the room. And the husband, like every time, like kind of the first time lets it slide, second time kind of looks at you like, what is this? What is happening right now? And then by the third time, it's like, cut tape. Cut tape.
No,
Roll it
husband.
back, husband.
Husband.
I did this to you and you were not having it.
Oh, immediately. There was no side glance like, wait, what's going on? I was like,
Not too much.
not
boy.
too much.
Why is that such a thing? Why is that such a
We
thing?
had a whole ass wedding.
I know that, but so the title really
We had a baby. Like, I earned my title.
the title holds weight because I just am like, I feel like I like being your girlfriend, which y'all, this ties into the first 90 days because girlfriend status, girlfriend feels, girlfriend hotness, all that stuff feels so far out the window. And like for me, girlfriend is something I cherish. Like I always want to be your girlfriend, even though I'm also your wife.
Yeah.
No?
No, yes.
You
But that's
didn't-
also why the trend is for the women to do that to the men because we don't like
You don't like that?
It wouldn't work if the men did it to the women because y'all like
That's
that.
true.
It's
I
cute.
guess maybe.
It wouldn't work.
I say boyfriend. I say hi, boyfriend. No, you don't like that. No, you're just like
No,
cut that out.
husband.
Husband. Okay.
Husband.
My husband, but I like
Damn
your
it.
girlfriend. And let's talk about that. So that is like first 90 days. The thing that I am struggling with the most, parenting wise, this is not for chumps, right?
Nope.
Is baby's doing great. It's not even that.
Yeah.
Honestly, the baby part of it has been, I mean, she's had, what was it, the first like month or two? It was obviously the getting the sleep routine together, learning her. How much does she eat? I felt like every week she changed so quickly. So it was like, oh, she's eating 1 ounce. She's crying more. Oh, she needs 2 ounces now. Oh, she needs like 4 ounces.
Yeah, it's
today.
just like constant adjusting and paying
Adjusting.
attention and
Yeah.
adjusting because they're growing, they're
They're
changing,
changing.
you know,
These are
and
things we
just
say in the house.
yeah.
So yeah, so all those things were happening, and we were lucky. We have grandma, who's in the house supporting us and
Mhm.
helping, and is like baby expert. So all that stuff really helps. But, uh, you know. That part actually hasn't been that hard. And I think part of that is I have a great partner, like you are
It's
all
true, you do.
and
It's true.
tell the truth.
It's
You better
true.
tell the truth. It's true. I do.
Yeah.
You're a great husband, you're a great dad, and you're very hands-on, and so I'm not in it myself, which is,
Yeah,
you know,
it's a team effort.
and the baby loves you. She's a total daddy's girl, so Josie's good there. But the hardest part for me has been, without a doubt, relationship stuff for me. I don't know if you agree. I don't know. So I brought you here
Relationships.
today to tell you.
I know. I'm like, damn, really on the hot seat.
We listen and we don't judge.
Oh,
Does that
are you?
apply if you're in the relationship and it's your relationship?
I mean, yes, specifically.
So we listen and we don't judge.
Okay, you about to
I
tell me
brought you
something?
here to have a conversation.
Oh wow.
A tough conversation.
Oh wow. We're all okay.
No,
Me,
it's
I
not
need
really.
a
It's
sip
not.
of water.
No,
I'm
I think
getting
the hardest
nervous.
part. You need to hydrate. You're like, I need to
Hydrate.
hydrate immediately. No, I think that for me, the hardest part of this has been, and I think the mamas listening or anyone who's kind of been through this or works in the baby having world, like, who am I? Like, who am I even? Like, I felt like I have gone from transition to transition to transition in the past couple years, like 5 years ish or so. And I've entered this whole new place where it's not just like transition of like, okay, divorcee or like new mom in new city or like, in a relationship with someone new, like all that. It also feels like a transition that is like powered by hormones. So like all the
Mm,
feelings are like amplified. Not to mention, and I know some of y'all who are, some of my like more seasoned crew, y'all know it's like, is perimenopause here? Am I going to, because I'm, 40, like what else is coming? You know what I mean? So I think the hardest part relationship wise for me is I love one of my favorite things in this world, two things, being a mom. I love my babies. You know how I am, mama.
mhm.
I love being a mom. The other thing is, oh, if y'all hear me sounding kind of congested, I have a cold. Like I should
It's
say
on its way out.
tail end of a cold.
Tail end.
Like very tail end of a cold, but I'm still a little congested. And I can tell you right now, like having the sniffles, when I was at peak sniffles, having a baby needing to adult and being in a relationship, that is for the birds. That is not it. Okay. Like you should only ever have to deal with one or two things at a time. But I was saying the thing that I struggle with the most is like, outside of being a mom, I loved being your girlfriend.
We had fun.
Oh,
We still have fun.
no,
It's not the same. I mean, it's not exactly the same,
I
but
had
like
so much fun with you. It
Yeah,
was
we had a good
so
time.
fun being your girlfriend. Like, just like, oh gosh, it was just so great. Like, I just loved the like long mornings, slow mornings, like staring in the eye, like dates and stuff, like all the like extra lovey things.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I still feel different versions of that. And there's whole new things that come in the married world and especially the papa world. Like when I see you with our baby, I'm like, give me 6 more of them. You know what I mean? You can have whatever you want. Like it's very big, like I love my husband energy, but I also love being your girlfriend. Like I loved feeling good in my body, very like fit and, like desired, which we've talked about this, that like you still, I need to regularly tell you to stay away from me. Like we talk about birth control regularly because I'm like, please, like calm down.
I do my best.
It's not an issue.
I do my
like
best.
that part's not an issue.
That's not a problem.
It's not an issue, but intimacy and attraction is also how you feel in your body. You
Right.
know what I mean? And like for me, I just do not feel the same.
Right. I mean, you're a few months out from having a baby, so I mean,
It's weird because I haven't put on that much weight. All my clothes still fit, like whatever, and I can tell when I look in the mirror that I don't look drastically different, but
Yeah.
I feel so different.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like you look good. Like you
That's
don't
very
look
kind.
that
Thank you.
drastically different, like at all.
I feel
But I'm
like,
sure you feel different. But
oh,
it's
I
like
feel like when I tell you the biggest thing, and I think a lot of moms who will relate to this or people who are thinking about having kids, breastfeeding, my body feels
no
like a
joke.
tool. It's no joke.
yeah,
I feel like I am like my body is just like a machine. Like I was thinking about this the other day. So not the other day in black like time frame is it could be yesterday or it could be a couple years ago. I just want to clarify. I mean
I
last
know
night.
you'll like we'll be like randomly driving. You'll be like, oh yeah, just like the other day when blah blah blah. I'm like, wait, when did that happen? Huh?
This is people
And
talk
then
about.
it'll finally click in my brain. I'm like, that was like 4 months ago.
See,
Like
but
what?
that's the struggle of interracial relationships. Your concepts of time are very different from my own concepts of time. So the other day, and I mean last night, so last night when I was doing like we do a weekly cookathon basically where we just stack the fridge with whatever we're gonna have for the week. So I made like meatloaf, like chicken stir fry, pasta sauce, like just stuff so that everyone can kind of like eat and grab, during
Mhm.
dinner. We might like order out a couple times during the week too. So, anyways, I was doing the cookathon, cooked food for the whole family, right? And got the fridge restocked, grocery shopped, whatever. Then I made the baby's bottles after pumping and put that in the fridge. And I literally sat there and said to myself when I was all done, it was like while I was putting the bottles in the fridge, and I was like, I feed everybody from my body. Like I do all the cooking, you know what I mean? Like everybody in this house gets its sustenance from my body. I literally even make food in my body for another human in this
You're
house.
making food while you're making food.
While I'm making food.
Yeah.
And it just like, I don't know, it's just like it just so another example of like the like feeling incredibly non-sexy and like mechanical with my body is we got like finally hitting the 90-day mark. We decided to take like a weekend, right, as parents,
Mhm.
which we recognize and we receive and we hold space for all of the parents who are in the thick of it right now, who are like, it has been a year and a half and I do not remember the last time I saw my husband solo. Sending love. We understand. We happen to have a 13-year-old as our next eldest child, so it made it a lot easier for us to get away.
And her 13 is like a regular 17
Are you
or
kidding me?
something.
Her 13 is like 35.
Yeah,
There are
she's.
times where she is the adult. In
I
the house.
regularly joke how she's like an 80-year-old woman.
Like
she is.
we're like, get out, live a little bit, girl. She's like, in this economy.
Like.
So we're very fortunate because we really do only have one kid in the house, which is really nice in many ways. And then we have like the world's best grandma. So we basically were like, it was Alex's birthday week, and we were like, let's just take a couple days
Yeah.
and just stare at each other basically. So we took time off and it was amazing because it was warm, it was beachy, like you guys know we're West Coasters. So we were very excited to have that time. And when I tell you, it was like, I guess whiplash is the best word. You were having a great time. You didn't care. You were just like, let
What?
me be honest. We're going to keep it all the way real. Like,
Well, go. What?
Just say it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna say.
You don't care if I say it.
I don't know what you're gonna
basically,
say.
You were all over me, like the whole time.
Oh hell yeah! Are you kidding me? We were alone in a like
but it was very
resorty
girlfriend
hotel.
energy, and I liked
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? It was very like, it wasn't like ships passing in the night.
I'm like,
adults,
hell yeah! Like parents out of town, solo for a weekend, no kids, no
Right.
grandma in the house. Hell yeah, I was all over you. I don't care. You can say it louder if you want.
I just mean like, people talk about the roommate mode or whatever. I felt like we were getting very roommate-y.
For a minute there, it was just like very busy.
Yeah.
It was just very busy.
Just
and
like-
the ships passing in the night thing, like you said.
Yeah, is real.
And it's hard when you're like schedules and become roomatey when it's like, okay, you're gonna do pickup at this time. Okay, I have work.
like when
okay,
we saw
you
each
have
other
a call.
in business.
So then I have this and scheduling and calendars and blah
we
blah
were
blah.
tired and all that.
Everyone's
stuff,
tired,
So we hit the ground and you were not playing. I don't even think we hit the ground. I'm gonna be real honest. Normally you fall asleep on the plane and then like we get there, you're a little bit dazed and you're hungry.
Oh, listen, if we're just gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. Right when we got off the plane, I started videoing your ass.
God. Yeah, you were like,
I'm like, look at that thing.
You were like, I just learned cinematic mode. I was like,
I got
"Sir."
a new phone. It had cinematic mode. I was
Oh,
like, let me test
Lord.
it out.
I said, please. I was like, can we get through customs, sir? Like, it was just a lot. Which, first of all, can I just say, this is how I know. This is how people end up with Irish twins. This is how they end up with kids that are like a year apart. Okay, it is a real problem. I was like, no, not too much, good sir. So that's the first part. But I'm going to tell you, listen to me, don't judge, right? What was hard for me was, it felt like whiplash going from these moments where it was like my husband's like, oh my God, my girl looks so good. Like I'm all over her, blah, 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 to like sitting there pumping. Like I woke up every night or every morning before you. And I'm like, and for those of y'all who don't know what pumping is like, because you have to pump when you travel to make sure that your milk supply stays up, because as long as your body's thinking that your baby needs to be fed, it'll continue to feed your baby or make milk for your baby. So like every morning I'm sitting there with these cups while you are laying in bed, and I'm sitting there like in our hotel room And it's just like, I think it makes mooing sounds, like the machine. To me, it sounds like mooing, but maybe that's just my association with like cows and feeling like a cow. But it's like,
Probably.
eh-oh, 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 moo, eh-oh, 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 moo. And this is how I feel. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I hope he doesn't hear that. Ain't nothing sexy about this. I'm waking up, wig off kilter, bonnet on, just like sitting there, eh-oh, eh-oh, moo, for like 45 minutes, and then I'm like, all right, gotta store my milk, stick it in the freezer, and I'm gonna carry my milk back. And then I'm like, let me get in the shower and try to get cute before he wakes up, and I'm just like, this is so unsexy. Like putting on my bathing suit and being like, do I need like nipple pads with this? And for those of you guys who don't know, they make like little pads for your boobs, because if you so much as hear a baby cry, it is drip city. You know what I mean? So I'm like picking out my outfits for our dinners, thinking about, will I leak through this, or will you see my nipple pads through this? Just like all these considerations that feel very unsexy, And then I had to think to myself, I was like, I am just getting, this is my brain, by the way, y'all. this is where I was like, what is it gonna be like when I'm 80? Like when I'm 80, do you know that I found out, and I've talked about this on other episodes, like I didn't know prior to meeting you. This is more listen and don't judge. You're looking at me like, girl,
You
what are you about to
love the
say?
listen and don't judge thing. You love that.
I don't think I do it right though. I just
you
tell
don't.
stuff.
You don't. You just say you just say stuff. Okay, go ahead. We listen, we don't judge.
There you go. Thank you.
Go
Thank
ahead.
you for the space.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Before I met you, because I was recently divorced, I told this on another episode, so I don't know if you know this, so I'm gonna tell you now. So before I met you, like I went and got my lady bits attended, like meaning like that region had been fairly, it was uncharted terrain for an extended period of time. So I went to go have it, manicured.
Okay.
This is somewhat family programming. Okay. So
not, but continue.
It's not, but just generally,
Sure.
right? So I went to go get the area, attended to. And so the professional who was examining the region was like looking, and I said to her, I said, hey, the other day I noticed that there was like white hair, and I had thought it was a dog hair, except presently divorced and separated. So like at that time, there wasn't no puppy dogs around. So that meant that was a gray hair. And I said to her, I said, hey, I didn't even know that area could go gray. Like, me and my girls have already talked about this, so you may be new to this conversation. I didn't know that area could go gray.
No, I think we did talk about this.
We did
It
later
sounds
on
familiar.
because I explained to you like, hey, are there grays down there? You know what I mean?
Okay,
But you didn't know about this experience.
Okay.
So I went in and I visited the lady, who's a professional, because I imagine she's seen tons of them, and I was like, hey, it's gone gray. Like I'm getting grays down there, and I don't know if that's like stress or what. She was like, oh, how old are you? And I was like 38. And she was like, yeah, no, it's just going to go gray. She was like, eventually it'll be all gray. And I said, well, what is the solution for that? Because I can't have my upper region giving, early 30s and my lower region giving wisdom. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be out there looking
wisdom.
like, yes, I don't want to look like I hold all the secrets. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want, like, granted, I know when guys get down there, they're just glad to be visiting, right? You know what I mean? They're not sitting there thinking, "Oh, wise sage, what a secret." You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they come down there and they're like, "Can you be my mentor?" You know what I mean? Like, you have answers. Like, I don't think that's what happens. But I just want to be sure because I was new to the scene. Okay.
Okay.
I was new to the scene, so I asked her what the solution was for that region. And she told me that it's all gone. Like she was like, because I was like, so people aren't like, we're not dying it. We're not like, she was like, no, it's all gone or else you're given salt and pepper. And so I was like, oh, wow. And she was like, well, that's until it falls out. And I said, I'm sorry.
Falls out?
Falls out. So that part you didn't know.
That part I didn't
Apparently
know.
you go bald down there.
Well, save you money.
I love your perspective, and this is why we're married. But this,
in this economy,
right? But this is what I mean, though, is like, I realize I'm entering, and I probably don't need to worry about this as the first 90 days of having a baby, but I'm like, will I have a pocket again of life where I will feel like myself, like sexy, attractive, fit, like dark lady parts, whatever, where I will feel like myself again to enjoy that a little bit before I enter the region of, bald bits and, perimenopause and all that? Or is it just, is that time, will I be thinking of my youth? you know?
I mean,
I think about that. Have the good days left me?
and
That's how I
no,
feel.
and they haven't. And they haven't because even though last year was hard, with the
Yeah.
pregnancy and there's
Yeah.
just
I
like all
hated being pregnant.
yeah, there was just like all the things, but we still are finding pockets of good times, and it's like right now, I'm in school and
Yeah.
like all these things are happening.
Yeah.
But like I guess we always keep saying once we're on the other side, once we're on the other
Right.
side of this and
But
this,
I guess that's
but then
it,
there's
is
always
the
things.
other side. It just
Right, there is
is
really
the
no
other
other.
side.
There is another side, but there really isn't like another
It's a
side because it's like
continuum.
it's
You
just a
just keep
continuum
going.
of new things to get on the other side of. So we are gonna have to it's just like constant adjustment, but we'll have to find time to hang out,
Be
find the
happy.
times, be happy,
Yeah.
in this continuum, which I think we do a pretty decent job of, to be honest.
No, we do find time to like be with each other.
Like
We
we
have
could
health
we could
and
always
health.
find more,
Yeah.
but I think we do a pretty decent job. Like,
Yeah, we try to find pockets. I think we do a good job of finding pockets
mhm,
within life. Like even if
yeah,
it's just 1 hour at the end of the day to like watch a show. Like we finished White Lotus,
we did.
which was like a thing. Like those that feels
And
like accomplishments.
oh
you
yeah, we
know?
finished a
Like,
show together.
yeah, like that's we went to a movie
Oh man.
like in the first 90 days, which I know, and it was an action movie with no child,
Oh,
which was a big deal. I fell
great.
asleep. Like you know me, I always fall asleep and miss like at the peak of the movie. So right as they're about to uncover who did it.
Oh, I know.
I'm
You'll
out.
wake up at the end and you'll be like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Oh, it was crazy. Let me tell you."
And I'll be like, well, did they win?
right. Yeah.
Every single time. I literally, when I'm not kidding y'all, I fall asleep right before the big reveal.
Always.
And then I wake up because, at the end, the credits are always like the big cinematic music. It's like, bum, 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 bum,
Right.
bum, bum, bum.
And then you wake up.
And I'm like, this is my moment. Hello? Hello? And I'm like, so did our team win? Did they find the baby?
Right.
Every
Well,
single
and that's the
time.
hardest part about finding pockets in time, because when there are pockets in time, we're tired.
So tired.
We're just tired.
So tired.
Because either it's night shift with the baby, or we're working all day,
Yep.
or schedules, and it's just a lot.
It is a lot.
Especially, I think, probably first year of having a baby, that just
is what it is.
It just is what it is.
And I guess that's part of like what I have to keep reminding myself in this first 90 days is that like, and I posted about this yesterday on Instagram. If you guys don't follow me there, it's Nicole Walters. But I posted about it. Like I have to keep reminding myself I'm not on vacation because I'm working less than I've ever worked before, which is weird to me.
Right.
Just in general, because I overwork. That's like the habit. I'm working less than before because I feel like, oh, I'm on vacation, but I'm recovering.
Right.
I'm not. And like, my body went through a controlled train wreck. You know what I mean? Like the idea that I would think I'd be totally back to normal, full on, 180 back to healthy, it does not make sense.
Right. No, it doesn't. And we're both very stubborn about taking time off. And like,
well, you tell me some of your stuff since we're here. Like, how are you feeling? I mean, I know what I've seen. I personally don't understand. I feel like you're not struggling at all. And sometimes I want to push you.
Damn.
Listen and we don't judge.
Damn. Okay. Oh, you did it right.
Thank you.
Oh, you did it right that time. That was good.
But then you judged.
Oh, but there was a little judgment though.
Yeah.
But you did your part right. I messed
you.
up my part.
Sometimes I'm like, how is he not feeling anything? You just be skipping.
Oh no, trust me, I am.
Tell me your things.
I am.
What is hard for you?
I mean, I'm in school like 10, 12 hours, 5 days every day,
chasing your dream.
5 days a week, chasing my dream, which is, it's going great and learning a ton. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then work on weekends.
But you were doing that stuff before the baby. I'm saying now that the baby is here.
Right. I guess the difference is now with the baby, weekends I don't get to sleep in because we have, it's like
true. We're not doing stuff on weekends.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. We're taking care of the baby and then I'm going to work and then I go back to school. So it's really, there's really no break, like long periods of break. It's just kind of like constantly something.
At least that part changes. Do you feel like you're having any identity issues? Do you know who you are? Why would you laugh at that?
Actually, for the first time in a long time, I feel more secure in who I am than ever.
Do you guys see why I want to push him? See how it comes full circle? I was going to say, see how it comes full circle? Do you see what he just did? Actually, I've never felt more secure in my identity with a more great clarity around who I am ever before. You see?
Well, because
I'm over here like my vagina is white, okay? And you're over here like I feel so secure within self.
Listen, your vagina might be going, my head is going white, okay? This one
You
on my
you graying?
the
Yeah, but
hair
you're
on
all
my
like
head.
you're all giving silver fox.
This one's going.
Okay.
This is going gray. This is visible.
That's
Okay,
all right.
more
That's
than before.
fine. Okay.
All right.
All right.
See these wrinkles?
I do. That's true.
See that?
That is true. If nothing else, I can always fall back on the fact that you will wrinkle and age like an avocado.
I will.
Because of your Caucasian condition.
And my condition.
Which is black don't crack. And I always have that edge on you. So thank you.
Yeah, you
Thank
do.
you.
Yeah,
That
there's
makes
really
me feel
nothing to be
better.
done about that.
There's nothing.
If it's a condition, do you think I could get it covered?
My healthcare?
Do you think they would cover
Not
it?
in this economy.
In this economy.
In this economy.
The
okay,
pre-existing condition.
You do
so.
feel like you have more clarity. It's good. One of us should at least feel good.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I
around
feel
that part.
more clarity around like identity because I'm leaning into things that I like more of my giftings than I ever have before. Like I knew they were there, but now I'm really like.
You mean just work wise?
Well, I mean, work wise, and then just like my worth, like even in the home, just like how I can help out around the house, how I can be a good husband, how I
Do you
can
want
be
to
a
talk
good
about salt
father.
this morning?
What?
You want to talk about salt this
No, I
morning?
don't want to talk about salt. No, I don't
You
want to talk about the
salt?
salt.
You
No, I
don't
don't want to
wanna
talk
talk
about the
about
salt.
it? You
I don't want to talk about the salt this morning. I don't want to talk about that.
You don't want to talk about that? Mr. In the morning? With your skills, y'all, he couldn't find the salt this morning and he yelled.
I got very frustrated because I couldn't find the salt.
These are the things
You really know how to
argue
bring
about
me
our
right back down to
I-
earth, don't you?
Look,
I feel really secure in myself. I feel really grounded in my identity and who
I'm proud
I am.
of you
And,
for feeling secure. I just also want you to live on.
and then I also lost my mind because I couldn't find this salt.
Because it's important whenever you're doing content that we are giving the nothing is missing perspective. We can't just sit here and be like, everything's great. I feel great. Everything's perfect. We have to be like, I have crow's feet, and sometimes I can't find the salt.
It's true. Listen,
the truth.
I feel like I'm graying. I'm wrinkling. I couldn't find the salt. I got very frustrated.
It's not perfect.
Nothing's perfect.
That's right.
I'm very tired a lot of the time. Right now, I have no clean clothes. This is what I had left.
Yeah.
These clean clothes. This is all I.
But you're also doing great. I just want to let you know you are doing great.
Thank you.
You are doing great.
Thank
When you said leaning into your gifts, there was something I wanted to tell you that I felt you did really well. Like outside of leaning into your gifts musically, which you've always had and always nurtured, you've always had a desire, and you've shared with me, like you've always known that you wanted to be a father. You've always known that parenting was important to you. You also always knew that you wanted to get married and be a husband. And I think that you're leaning into those gifts too. I think you're doing it very well. You're like a really, really good dad, and you're a really good husband.
Thank you. You're a really good mom.
Thank you. I feel that way. Our kid said it.
Good wife.
Did you know that she said that on last week's podcast?
Ellen?
Yeah.
That's surprising. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. No, sometimes I think that. Sometimes I'm really like, they just don't know. Like, they just don't know how much we don't know. Every day is touch and go. They have no idea. But she said, she was like, yeah, I asked her, I was like, do you have any feedback on like our parenting? Like, do you have anything you think we could be doing better? And she was like, no, like, I think you guys actually do a really good job. She said that. Isn't that sweet?
That's really nice.
I know, she's the best.
We try. I mean, we try.
We do try.
And as long as you try, I mean, even if you're not the best, as long as you try your hardest, I think that they can see that you're trying and
you're honest about it, right?
And honest about like if we mess up or like we didn't do something right and
or if we're
calls it out,
unsure.
or if we're unsure and she calls it out, I'll be like, oh dang, like you were right.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Sure.
And I also feel like kids can tell. And honestly, this is something even with newborns, they can pick up your vibe. Like people keep telling us, like, anyone who we have had around Josie, which is not that many people because she's so fresh,
Yeah.
But people are like, she's a real chill baby. Like she's got great energy. She's very like positive and she's super alert, super aware. Like, I mean, she's got her bearings around her and she's talking like crazy, like trying her best, to.
I mean, don't get me. I mean, she's still a baby. She still has her moments where she's like.
But she's it's very clear. Her communication is very clear. Like,
yeah.
Is it one of these things? Here's how I feel.
Right.
Like, I keep waiting for the thing where, people are like, oh yeah, that's your baby now, but you just wait and see.
But on the flip side, I mean, it's like, yes, she is a very good baby, good energy and all that. But like, also there was times where it was like she was just losing her mind and we
could not figure it out.
We couldn't figure it out. Like we didn't know.
We're like, what's going on with you, baby?
Sometimes we had to tap in each other and be like, I am just overwhelmed and frustrated and I need you to just handle this.
Just hold the baby for a second.
Yeah, and it hasn't been a lot. It's only a couple of times.
Yeah, I would say I could count on one hand for each of us.
Yeah.
Either way, it's really helpful. I remember one time.
That's why I think it's important to say because it's like, online and it's like all the footage we put out, it's like, yeah, we have a happy baby generally.
Oh
That's
yeah,
how
for
she is
sure. But
most of
she's
the
also
time.
a baby.
But she's also a baby. And
Listen.
sometimes it's just like,
We're like, what is wrong with you, girl? Like, what is the
is
problem?
it change? Is it gas? Is it
Yes.
like whatever? Are you hungry? Like,
It was harder in the beginning though, because we were all getting to know each other.
right.
You know what I mean? But
Right,
like
right.
towards the like now, I think we have a much better sense. Like we know her cries.
Yeah.
We know her patterns, you know, although they change because, you know, she's growing, she's changing. You know? But you know, she's starting to build some routines. So
Yeah.
we kind of know. And also like someone told me today, I didn't tell you this on social. They were like, yeah, you know, it's interesting you're talking about the first 90 days. And we'll probably do another revisit in the next 90 days or whatever. But people were saying like every 3 months, it's like a whole new human.
Yeah.
You know, like more of their personality shines through. You get even more comfortable with their needs, you know, and all that. So it's ironic because we've kind of made it through this first like 4th trimester, which is people talk about how hard it was. This is what we listen, we don't judge. This is actually part of what I was the most scared of.
What?
This 4th trimester. I was
yeah.
I mean, I think I told you, like this is how, you know, I don't do we listen, we don't judge, right? I'll be like, we listen, we don't judge. You're like, you already told me that. I was there. I already did that thing. And I'm like, right, but now I'm feeling comfortable to really say it and like, don't judge.
Right.
But,
it's like, it's not how it works.
yeah, but I know, because I'm like, what's the secret? There's no secret.
Right.
We listen, we don't judge. Like, I hated being pregnant, but I was like open to it. I was like,
Yeah.
you know, I can probably handle it or whatever. I was terrified of delivery, like really didn't want to
Sure.
die as a Black woman in America. I was so scared of it. And then I was really worried about 4th trimester because I was like, my body's going to be totally different. Like I'm never going to sleep. What if I don't like, oh, I've never said this out loud, but like, what if I don't like my baby?
Oh.
Like I was worried because I've heard about like hormonally, people are like, what if I like, you know,
right,
like,
something just triggers and
or
you see the
something
baby
weird,
and it's
yeah. Like I was
like,
worried, like, what if I'm like, I make this whole baby and I'm like, I hate this whole life, like,
right,
you know, like I
right.
just because like I like my life, you know what I mean? And one of the things I don't think people realize is oftentimes we take and pursue new things and big things because there's something we want to change about our life. So we're like, I don't like this job, so let me get a brand new job. I don't like this haircut, let me cut it all off. Like
Right.
people do dramatic things, but like I liked my life, you know, and I just wanted to enhance it. And I think that a lot of growth comes from making changes when things are good, right? Like don't get a man because you don't like yourself. Get a man because you like yourself and you want to enhance your life, right?
Right.
So, and I think very much that's what Josie's done. Josie's like a deep enhancement.
Yeah.
To our life. Our life is so much better because
Yeah,
I wake up and I'm excited.
It's not a changing because we wanted to change something like in our DLA for our family. We loved our family.
We're
We loved our
fixing
house.
anything, like
And we
everything was
wanted to
amazing.
add like a baby
Absolutely.
to it. You know
It felt like we added a bow
yeah.
to the box.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, kind of.
Like
Yeah.
it's pretty wrapping paper already, but you put a bow on it and you're like, ooh, who did all that?
It's true. That's a powerful like thing actually to add something like to your life because you like it already, not to like fix it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's a powerful concept. Like,
Mhm.
but it's true
Mm-hmm.
because if you're adding something like if you're getting a relationship because like you're lonely or something, there's still gonna be like problems. If you're like if you're having a baby with somebody because you think that'll fix your relationship, that's not gonna fix a relationship. The problem's still gonna be there. Like
that though.
you know what I mean? It's like
There's
all the
that,
different things. So
though.
it's like if you like your situation, you want to enhance it, that's one thing, but it's like not a fix.
And I think you're right. I'm really glad because I know for a fact that that's the space from which we had Josie, you know,
Yeah.
like she is so created in love, so desired, so wanted. I get excited when I think of her getting to an age where she understands how much her parents love her. Do you know what I mean? Like how absolutely grateful we are that she exists because like, oh, we're going to keep it all the way real, but I'm going to try not to cry because these pregnancy hormones are real, or I should say postpartum hormones. I know what it's like to have parents who, I definitely feel like my parents wanted me, you know what I mean? Like, because in Ghanaian culture, you know, in African culture, like having kids is like culturally expected, you know what I mean? So I was desired, you know what I mean? But there were many times in growing up where I felt like a burden, you know, because I was like a financial expense, because I was a time constraint. Like I felt that, you know what I mean? And as I got older, there were even times where, you know, as you learn more, I felt like I was a dream buster or a dream killer. Like, you know, I didn't get to do the thing I wanted to do because I chose to be a parent instead, you know, that sort of thing. And when I tell you, if there's one thing that I didn't even realize that I'm inadvertently passionate about not letting Josie experience, it's that.
For sure.
I don't want her to ever think she took away from her dreams. I want her to bear witness to our dreams like happening.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I always thought I was kind of always scared about having a kid because I thought having a kid would kind of deter me from pursuing my dreams, But then it's like you're kind of in the middle of it, and then it's like, oh, like this decision has actually triggered something in me to make me want to pursue it even harder. Or like
I see that in you.
Or like, because I've always said by the time she's 5, I want her to be able to realize that like, oh, I worked hard for my dreams and I achieved it. And, like her to recognize what that looks like, but then like also time management just alone, because like you don't have all the time in the world. So the time that you do get, I'm like super productive because
I've never seen you work this hard.
Because I can't afford to not be. Like I don't have time to just kind of like take an hour break and watch something on Netflix or whatever. It's like, no, this is the chunk of time I have. Otherwise, I have to wait till tomorrow to tackle this. So the time that I do get, I'm like
on it.
Just very as on it as possible because there's just no time. So in that weird way, it's like, having Josie
better.
Yeah, it kind of makes you better, more efficient. Like
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's also like the ultimate in like learning to be selfless, like because it is just a total and complete sacrifice of self. Like, I mean, no shade to the papas, because there is a light switch that happens in your head. But for women, like you are sacrificing, you're risking your life, literally risking your life.
Yeah, oh, it's very different. Yeah, totally different.
You're literally risking your life, but then also you sacrifice your time in a different type of way. You feed off your body. They are constantly in your mind.
Right.
Like everything I do is my baby secure, okay, and safe before I move to the next thing?
Totally.
Are all of my kids okay? Like I sleep best when all my kids are under the same roof, which is hard when you have a 23 and a 26-year-old, but I sleep best when all of my babies are together. Like ain't no peace like visually having all my babies under my eyes, But yeah, I definitely feel like I'm growing myself, and I'm changing, because, I have this amazing being, but I also miss parts of myself. But I keep encouraging myself to say that it's and I get a lot of encouragement too from like the internet aunties and the comments and the DMs saying that like, trust me, girl, it's an evolution.
Yeah.
Like it might be like 2 years, but time flies, and it's an evolution.
And I think that's the part to remember is that like, just like Josie's growing and changing, like so are we with her.
Yes.
And like, even though it's like, you kind of talk about missing girlfriend times and like whatever, like right now this is this, but like as we are growing and changing too, like we'll find our way back to that and it's something even better and and grow to the next thing.
Yeah. And we only get to do this once.
Yeah.
Like there is a little bit of that grief too of like, newborn season is done. We no longer have a newborn. We now have an infant, I think is the next phase. And after that is a toddler. Yeah. And, you only get to do it once. And I think that's a great place to wrap because I have a question for you that I get all the time.
Okay.
And I want to continue to revisit it every 90 days and see if the answer ever changes.
Okay.
Are we only doing this once?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yep.
Tell just quick, what are your thoughts around that? Why? Why no more babies?
I mean, we have Allie.
We have 4 kids.
We have 4. We have Allie, we have Chris, we have Dea. Like it's funny because like, I say it all the time, like with Chris and it's like we're a little bit close, so it's like more like big brother vibes with them because they're grown, so like that's cool.
But we are definitely raising Allie.
By
ourselves.
And
like,
and
fully
and
raising fully everything ourselves.
And raising Josie. So it's like we already have like 2 under the roof. I don't know because it's funny. I look at Josie and I'm like, maybe another one, but then it's like
so wait,
no, but
freeze,
no,
stop,
because she's so
hold.
cute. But then I remember the whole thing.
No,
and I'm I don't know.
Pause. Can I just say for the record, everyone, this is the first time in 90 days you have ever said out loud that you look at Josie sometimes and say maybe another one. Every time I've asked you, you said categorically no. Do you see why we come to the couch? Do you see why we come to the couch? This is why we got to come to the couch because we listen and we don't judge here. Okay, this is why I had to.
No,
bring you
we're
here.
not having another one.
No, what is this whole? I look at her.
Well, because she's so cute, and you get those thoughts sometimes. You know what I mean? Because she's just so cute. You're like,
I don't
baby.
get those thoughts. I don't. I remember. Oh, people. Oh, you'll forget delivery. It was unmedicated. I have not forgotten. Okay.
But no. Realistically, like no. Like we are good. We're good. We are good.
All right, y'all. So you heard it. You heard it straight from the fella's mouth. We are good
We're good. I will
for
look at
now.
every camera
For
so
now.
everyone gets an angle of it.
We're good for now. And on that note.
And on that note, thank you
for
so much for
coming in.
having
Thank
me.
you
Yeah,
for
thank you. I
coming
really
in.
appreciate it. It was
It
really
was a
nice. I
blessing. It
appreciate
was
it.
such a pleasure.
Pleasure to be here.